300 years after aiding both Revan and Mitra Surik's journeys, during the Great Galactic War against Vitiate Sith Empire, the famous assassination droid HK-47 fought many battles, some for the Republic, some for the Sith, and some for his original master, the returned Revan himself. But each time HK-47 was defeated, and the original HK-47 was destroyed during the Battle of Ilum, and his original parts were lost to history. However, a spy known only as the Shroud had captured HK-47's original model at some point during the war and copied the complex memory core onto a new system. Several alternate copies of HK-47 were then created and dispatched across the galaxy for over the next 3,500 years. And at some point during history, the last known incarnation of HK-47 was aboard a Republic Hammerhead-class cruiser, but an unexpected event caused the cruiser to arrive and eventually crash land onto the volcanic surface of Mustafar. The cruiser itself was buried in the dirt and dust of Mustafar, becoming lost to time, and HK-47 himself was deactivated within. HK-47 lay dormant within the cruiser for thousands of years, until at some point around 20 BBY, a tectonic shift within the plates of Mustafar exposed the derelict cruiser to the surface once again. By this time, the Clone Wars was raging across the galaxy between the Republic and the Confederacy of Independent Systems, or more widely known as the Separatists. The Separatists had taken Mustafar as their own, establishing a large presence on the volcanic planet, and when the ancient Republic cruiser was discovered, the Neimoidians took it upon themselves to study and lock the ship down, preventing even the native Mustafarians from discovering what treasures lied within. However, the only thing that the Neimoidians found of true note was the deactivated HK-47, still fully intact and surprisingly in perfect condition, given his age and the toll that the ship had taken during its time under the rock and lava. The greedy Neimoidian engineers, unaware of what they had truly discovered, placed a restraining bolt on him and activated the ancient hunter-killer. When HK-47 awoke from his slumber, he went on a rampage within the cruiser, killing a number of the engineers that had awoken him within mere minutes, as well as a number of the B-2 battle droids and droidicas who defended them. However, the surviving engineers had managed to activate the restraining bolt placed upon him before the droid could slaughter everyone and everything on board the derelict vessel. The Separatists then attempted to wipe HK-47's memory. However, they were baffled by the advanced nature of the technology and the unbreakable thought matrix that the assassin droid used. As a result, to keep the ancient droid from causing more havoc, the engineers moved HK-47's thought matrix and memory from the original chassis into a reactivated subsystem within the Hammerhead cruiser. Unable to cause any more harm, the engineers then began to study the hunter-killer more closely with his AI locked within the ship, and began to draft concepts of new assassin droids inspired by the HK-47 model and taking vital elements, beginning initial creation in a nearby construction facility. However, HK-47's artificial intelligence had managed to break out of the confinements of the subsystem he was trapped in, melded with the entire ship itself. Because of this, the engineers sealed the cruiser up and took the lifeless body of the ancient droid to the nearby facility to begin further examinations. They also blocked any connection between the AI of HK-47 and the facility to ensure that the ancient droid couldn't interfere in any way. As HK-47 languished without a body within the walls of the locked-off starship, the Separatist engineers were hard at work reverse engineering the assassin droid into a brand new model, the HK-77. However, just before full production on the HK-77 was about to begin, the Clone Wars came to an abrupt end, and the newly christened Darth Vader arrived on Mustafar to kill the Separatist leadership hiding there under the orders of Darth Sidious and the New Galactic Empire. After the Imperial forces had wiped out the Separatist remnants and generally left the planet, HK-47, the derelict Hammerhead cruiser and the entire HK-77 project was left abandoned and unfound by the Empire for over 20 years. However, 1 year after the destruction of the first Death Star, HK-47 had managed to access the communication systems on the downed cruiser and reached out to a group of spacers that found themselves nearby on Mustafar. He pleaded with the group of spacers to help move his AI from the confines of the starship to a nearby research facility, to which they agreed. The Spacers then further helped the mysterious droid and restored power to both the research facility and a nearby droid factory. Once in control, HK-47 reinstated himself within his original chassis that the Separatist engineers had left behind. However, angered and unaware of who truly removed him from his original body, HK-47 planned to reignite the droid factory, and although appreciative of the Spacers' help in his reconstruction, he planned to annihilate every organic meat bag in an act of vengeance, including them, but they escaped before he could do so. Using the droid factory, HK-47 constructed an army using the HK-47 model that the Separatist engineers had crafted as a front line of his army. He also constructed a variety of other battle droid models that were already within the Mustafarian factory records and recruited a numerous amount just from the facilities themselves. HK-47 then rallied his army and attacked the Kosiat mining camp, but the Spacers who had originally aided him, along with the miners, managed to repel the new droid army and drove HK-47 and his droids back into the factory from which they were built, planning to stop the rampaging assassin droid once and for all. However, alongside his droid army, HK had created a battalion of unique droids, including the HK-58s, the HK Taskmaster, and the Doombringer to defend the facility. But the droids were not yet fully equipped to defend themselves capably and were defeated by the Spacers. HK-47 himself, on the defensive, retreated within a lava crater and drew the Spacers through another wave of battle droids all the way to him. However, HK-47's overconfidence would ultimately be his downfall, and although flanked by his mechanical creations, he was unable to overcome the Spacers, and he, alongside the remains of his droid army, were defeated within the lava crater by the same people who had freed him. HK-47 didn't die here. Somehow, he had managed to escape and move his AI potentially to a brand new body, where he then congratulated the Spacers in their success in defeating him and their abilities in general. And as a sarcastic reward for their success, HK provided them with a hologram of himself, which simply read meat bags on the plaque below. Now, this whole series of events occurred in the Star Wars Galaxy's MMO, which I'm sure many of you never actually got to play as it's pretty damn old now. I personally could never get into the game myself. I've tried numerous occasions with the emulators, but it's just not for me. However, I know how important it is to many, many people, and I think the introduction of HK-47 into the game was a lot of fun. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to see more Knights of the Old Republic and Star Wars content from me. Also, don't forget to come and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and join the Discord server because I would love to have you there. All links are in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next video. But until then, may the Force...
Interjection. Hiding from me is useless. I will find you eventually. You only delay the inevitable. Statement. You hear that, meatbag? I will be back.